What's up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube Stando TV here, and today I want to do a vlog, and today's topic is going to be video games as a streaming service, kind of like Netflix and Hulu, but with video games. Is that the future? What brings me to wanting to talk about this now is because, well, the No ran a story on the Nintendo NX possibility of it being subscription-based 5 days ago, despite us talking about it on this channel for months now. That's right, we've been talking about this for 3 months. Welcome to the conversation, the No. All kidding aside, though, I do like Adam and Bruce, man. I like the No. I like Funhouse. Nevertheless, though, they are late to a conversation that we've already been having, and that is, will video games eventually become a digital service platform like the Nintendo NX is possibly going to go, where you pay an annual fee and you just stream the game straight from the cloud, so there's no need to worry about having the latest to do hardware available to you, and companies can save money on that shit, so can the consumer. I think, believe it or not, that's the way video games are heading, and it just totally makes sense when you look at other media. Music perhaps is the biggest example of what's happening, because you remember what it was like to have records, well, some of us, and 8-track tapes and cassette tapes and CDs. Remember when music came on a CD? How about him? And then it went to MP3s that were downloaded kind of illegally by sharing sites like Napster and LimeWire. And now, iTunes came in and digitalized everything, and now you've got Pandora and other Spotify and things like that stream music to you. So it's a very unique thing that where the music industry has started and where it's ended up at. And movies and TV are the same way. TV started out as radio transmitted waves that come to your television set, and then there was the arrival of cable, and now we're in the digital age, and now there's Netflix and Hulu. So it's really bizarre. Movies, do we really need to talk about movies? You had Betamax, you've had VHS, you've had Laserdisc, because that caught on well. You've got DVDs, Blu-rays, and now you've got places like Amazon Prime and Vudu that are willing to sell you a digital copy of the movie. It's already notable that on consoles, your PlayStation 4 and your Xbox One, that digital games are starting to catch on and become more profitable as more people download more games than buy physical copies. And hell, that's been the case on PC for a long time, with users using stores like Steam or even like G2A, Origin, or Uplay to buy their video games. It's crazy when you think about it that you can't even find a physical copy of a game on PC in local retail stores hardly anymore. Everything has gone completely digital. And I don't see that going away anytime soon, but with games being digital, they don't necessarily need to run 100% off your hardware now. Sure, it'll be great, but now we have the technology and cloud-based systems to stream the capabilities that your PC can't handle to your device. And that gets people playing more games on more devices, not just PCs, but on PCs, laptops, tablets, phones, TVs, dongles, all sorts of weird little gadgets that can just have the power of massive hardware beamed into their system, which makes a $50 subscription for playing games sound kind of intriguing. However, how will it all work out? Well, we can only speculate on that. Eventually, it'll probably be like Netflix or a Hulu, where you pay a monthly subscription fee and then have the game streamed to your preferred device of choice. And I don't think it's going to be really as cheap, ever as cheap as Netflix, where Netflix is like $10 a month. I'm thinking we're looking at more like $50 or $60 a month, because there's a lot of money to be had in video games, unfortunately. But everybody's going to have their own service, whether you're Sony, the Sony PlayStation. Here's the PlayStation Network service. Here's the Xbox Network service. Here's the Nintendo Network service. I'm not giving these any validity to their names, but you see where I'm going, where everybody has their own streaming service, much like Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu or whatever other streaming media that's out there. I would be lying if I told you that I was excited about the future, because in reality, I'm kind of anxious, because now we've got to worry about how video game history is preserved. Like, where do games like old Nintendo, NES, Atari games and some of the newer games go when the platforms that provided them in the first place eventually go out of business? For example, where if and when PlayStation ever gets beat out by Xbox or Nintendo, does all of The Last of Us and the Uncharted series go? Where does the support for these games go? What about these games that are online only with DRM policies? What happens to them when they're no longer being serviced? It's really, really scary when you put everything digitally on the internet and that you don't really own the rights to anything. You're just paying for a service. However, some of me is a little giddy, because that means that, I don't have to, my hobby is fixing to become more affordable than ever before, which is kind of an interesting take on things. And I can't wait to see, they're still going to offer digital titles for sale, absolutely, but alongside a streaming service where I can go back and play a back catalog of games that I've forgotten and not have to worry about whether this disc is scratched or not. That's kind of interesting. But like I said, there's also that fear of how long will that be available? When will it be in a rotation? Will certain games only be available for a month? How long what's their availability? That worries me too. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at, guys, is I thought that this topic was very interesting to me, and I'm curious that this might be, what do you guys think? Are video games heading in this direction? We already know we're heading away from the physical medium and that everything's going to be digital sooner or later. But what do you think about video games as a streaming platform, kind of like movies and television is now? Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Video games is still a very, very young medium, but it's growing up rather quickly, and I believe truly that one day it will surpass all of other mediums. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. Is video game streaming service a good idea? And I know what you're saying about infrastructure. Yeah, maybe the infrastructure is not completely there yet, but then you think about how many people in rural areas really play video games compared to the people in more of the urban area environments and areas. I mean, after all, Japan is where Nintendo is thriving right now, compared to the rest of the world. So what are they going to do to try to keep on to the Japanese market? Nobody's buying consoles over there, so you got to get your games to them somehow. Anyway, like I said, this is all just speculation and just a conversation that I want to have with you guys. Don't forget to check me out over at Twitter at Stando TV and over at twitch.tv/StandoTV. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on this video. And I love your face, guys. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one.